Just thought I'd throw this one up on my channel. FreeTiger, it's been a brand that I've been interested in from the first model that came out that claimed to be D2, and I had it tested and it was really D2 steel, but then they're very inexpensive. They're in their 20s or whatever, and this one is assisted opening, which I'm shocked that it's assisted opening. This is the first one I know of that they've done that was assisted opening. It's the FT2101, and I had it dipped in acidic steak sauce because I used this to eat a steak, and I left it just on the counter, didn't wash it off, didn't clean it, and it got a little bit of discoloration stain on there from, I think it was Heinz 57, right? So it's got vinegar, it's acidic, it's whatever. So here it is in all its glory and or usage, whatever, but it's D2 steel. It's assisted opening. My biggest problem with this knife is the pocket clip is way too small. Way too small. Here's the paperwork. Amazon, you can get them on Amazon. You can deliver it to, and they put your name and your address, like every place on here. So it's like you got to go scouting around for that. 2101, but it's really inexpensive. It's $23.99. You can get it in different, you know, black wash blade, whatever that is, and different handle colors, that kind of thing. So, you know, I thought it was pretty good. Is there something relevant back here other than that? Kind of gives you about this item, that kind of thing. Yeah, a little bit of information. So I don't know if this page has, oh, there you go. There's your total description there if you want to pause and, you know, take a screenshot or whatever. Liner lock, flipper, thumb stud, whatever. So it doesn't drop because it's an assisted opening, so it's got a spring in there. I think we'll pull the back scale off and take a look. That's a honker of a pocket clip. This is the Peregrine, okay? I mean, I don't think did they even really say that? No, they didn't. So they say it on the blade, Peregrine. It's a good, you know, good nice little blade shape here. If that's kind of a Warncliffe, reverse Tanto, whatever, okay? Reverse Tanto, sheepfoot, warranty, whatever. And yeah, so I think it's useful. Obviously, it's useful because it really cut the hell out of the steak I had the other night. It worked really good doing that. I should have thrown this damn thing in the dye pot when I was dyeing my other knives the other day. But I don't know. It's just going to be a utility cutter. Now that I you know, sullied the steel. Actually, I just put a little bit of WD-40 on there, and it took a bunch of that off. Now, I don't know if there's some magic about that, but it was really deeply stained, and now it's not so bad, right? So that's interesting. Liner lock, assisted opening, flipper tab is not overly rounded and taken care of, so not that big on that. And look at this. The pocket clip can go, you know, tip up, tip down, but not right or left. I think I could skip this in favor of giving a left-hand option. And I told them, I actually sent them a picture of the knife, which they knew exists, obviously, but showing this pocket clip and circling it and saying, that's a bit too far. I think it's a bit too far. Unless they were trying to make this into a money clip, you know, or something to hold your credit cards. That's just a mile too far. Now, it's definitely going to hold on to your pocket lip. That's pretty stiff spring right there. You might want to loosen that up a bit. And it's an open design, so easy to clean. Jumps right out, so no problem there. And there's your stop right there. Are these thumb studs actually making contact? No, they're not. But it looks like damn near that they are, you know? And, by the way, where is my little piece of joyful cutting paper here? Because, let's check it out. Seemed to do all right the other night. Oh, okay. Yes, it did. Yeah, I mean, it's sharp. And it did a good job. I thought it was, I'll look around, because unfortunately, I'm a real slacker when it comes to kitchen knives, and I'm not keeping them sharp. So my steak knives, they suck. But I'll just grab, one of my folding knives, and preferably one of my real inexpensive beaters, because they're going to be sharper than anything I got in the butcher block. And it cuts great. And so this was wonderful, except I didn't wash it off. I didn't do squat, and I left it on the counter. So thus, it came back to bite me in that regard. But I don't care. It's going to be a user beater anyhow. Ergos. The ergos are good. I mean, really the handle shape is nice, right? Reminds me a little bit of like a Kershaw Leek or, Onion Scout, whatever, that kind of thing. And then, it's a reasonably decent sized knife. So check this out, if you will. Can we call it 3.5? 3.35, something like that, at about 87, 8, millimeters, and then under 8 inches overall. So it's not tiny knife, it's 7.8, whatever inches. Okay, it's reasonable. And blade stock, what do you think? 3 millimeter? Any more than that? No. At best, it's 3 millimeter. 2.7 at 0.10. And if I can get a width here, 0.49, about a half inch, 12.5 millimeters. Okay. And how much does it weigh? Just in case you give a damn. 30, what? Oh, 3.6, which is not bad, And let's go to, why am I skipping grams? There's grams, 104, okay. Here's another one that might be of interest to you, the 2103. This is the same price tag, basically. It's a smaller knife, a little bit, not much, okay? But this one's cool. This one's way cool. It's in D2 as well. And this has got an axis type lock. So it's real fidget friendly. I like the design. I think I like the design better as well. But, I should do a FreeTiger free-for-all one of these days, because I've got a bunch of different models downstairs in a drawer, and there's some really good ones that I really like. Well, this one not as much. This one's interesting, and especially for the price. You're talking Ganzo price, next to nothing, right? Just like this. These are next to nothing for the cost. And, we tested the D2. The D2's real. Now, Rockwell, overall, performance cutting, I don't know. I don't know. And then at some point in time with that kind of price, as long as I can strop it up and sharpen it, I'm not sure that I really care how the performance goes. It's just going to be a cheap carry user, but not gas station. This is definitely not gas station grade stuff. This is better than that by a bunch. And gas station knives cost more than this, I think. So, hell, cheaper than a gas station knife, better than one. And, hey, by golly, George, I bought you a knife, buddy, and it just pops open almost like an automatic. And he's like, gee, damn diddly, you're right, that's awesome. You know, whatever. I mean, for non-knife people, the assisted opening is like a miracle. And so, you know, leave them in their fantasy zone. It's wonderful. But for the rest of us, we're going, not much of a drop there, is it, Charlie? Not much of a drop. No, there's no drop there, but okay. It's still got the springy thingy. I've had to fix one of these springy thingies before on a Kershaw knife that was assisted opening, and it's doable. It's doable, and it wasn't that much of a pain in the ass, but Lord Almighty. Got a little surround here, you know, little pop of color, and we don't do it on the back. No, we don't. And the hardware is just anything, including ordinary, isn't it? But it's G10. It's real G10, and it has grip to it. Like I said, ergos are fine. Reverse grip is good. Let me see. Balance here. There's your balance point. So, I mean, you know, hey, you got ambidextrous thumb studs, and you can kick it open that way if you want. I mean, if you have a mind to do so. Okay, hold on. Kick it like that, yeah. So, and thumb, of course. Once you get her going, she's going to pop open. Okay, let's attack the dog. The dog. Let's see if we can pop this one open. I mean, I don't know. Okay. We're going to get the pivot screw at least. So I think we're 90% there if we can do that. And oh, baby, aren't we lucky. That pocket clip's just got me all excited. I mean, that thing's a surfboard. They mounted a surfboard on a knife scale. It's like a plaque. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, now what am I doing besides spinning the whole thing? Am I spinning the whole thing? No, I'm not. Okay. I must be done. Must be done, son. Let's take this off. Okay. And let's take this off. Okay. Now let's preserve these screws with this pocket clip because they may be a different length. And, I mean, they're not a different length from each other, but they may be a different length than the other body screws. And here it comes. Yeah, they are. Body screws are a lot shorter, but they look the same length. Okay, so those are the same length. Okay. Here you go, G10. All the G10 you can stand. And, okay, let me see. Let's spring the deal. I guess what we've got here, amazingly enough, is going to be a spring on the other side. Okay, so there's lock bar side. There's lock bar scale. This has got me intrigued because, you know, the assist spring is probably somewhere buried in here. Okay, there's your blade. Stop. And what am I doing? Oh, I've got a prong coming through. You can see it's coming through the other side, and it's right in this hole, I believe. Yep, there it is. Okay, here we go. Okay, so yeah, you see the spring. It's going to be on the other side. And then when you lay that blade down on here, hold on, because you got these nylon washers. Okay, so when you're laying this blade down on here, you got to put that little baby doll right in that hole. This thing here, it's going to stick up through there. If you want to take the whole spring out, I'm sure it's got a little cavity in here where that spring sits. and then it comes in through here. So it's very much like the Kershaw stuff, okay? And so there's where you are. I mean, if I unscrewed these, I could take this off and the whole cavity deal, but it's no big deal. It's not really worth it unless I have to now to reassemble, but I don't think it's going to be that way. And this is going to turn, and I need that to be at a certain angle to reassemble. So it's going to need to look backwards here, like that. Okay, so now to reassemble this, and you can see, you got synthetic washers, etc. You got to have this hit that hole at a certain place. So this is going to have to line up and go in. And there it goes. Right? Yep, and there it goes. Okay. So that wasn't difficult. And I need a washer on top of here. And I need my stop again. Okay. Now, maybe I can just go ahead and let this crank down like that. Problem is, this has got to meet this. And this ought to be fun to do, actually. Okay, that's up against that stop. Okay. It's going to snap down once I release that blade. I guess I'll keep it open for the moment then. Are you settled? Kinda. Not really. Let's put this down. Let's get a little bit of lockdown going here. Okay. Bury this thing in there a little bit. Okay, we're good. And we can do that. Now we can put these screws, these body screws in here. And let's get both those put in. Ooh, okay, so there's a body screw, there's a body screw. These are the pocket clip. Okay. Yeah. Pocket clip. Okay, guys. Let's jump you back in. Okay. So here's the pocket clip. Got a little wonkus, and it's kind of weird that the FreeTiger, it seems upside down to me. Maybe not. I mean, it kind of does. Okay. Let's get you locked. You're locked. You're locked. And you're probably too much. Too much. Okay. Yeah, that's too much. Okay. Okay. Now we're centered. So let's see if that's the appropriate place. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Now it's got some drop to it. Okay. So it was probably a little, let me see. Oh, I got some play in here. Yeah, maybe a little bit too much. I was saying it had some drop. No, there's no drop. So there's no drop, but there's no play. You can back this off just a tiny and get a little tiny bit of play, but you can have some degree of drop too. So that's up to you, because then you can go one-handed like this when you got a little bit of drop. So you can adjust this pretty close. Well, you know what? That's infinitesimal amount of play, and that was just enough to kind of give me some drop here. So you can either go full on and no drop, or you can give it a little bit of drop and get an infinitesimal amount of movement on there, but it's centered. So back with the Peregrine, the FT2101, yeah, assisted opening. It's sharp, but it's really inexpensive. So if you're looking, you like this kind of blade shape, this whole design over here, I mean, it's comfortable in the hand. The fit and finish seems reasonably good. I mean, they didn't really go to great lengths to round this off with a, you know, but I mean, the liners are fine, pocket clip, no sharp edges. There's your lockup. That's reasonably decent at about 20% or so. And then easy to disengage. Still a one-hander. Ambidextrous thumb studs. You know, $23 shooter. It's your decision. I just thought it was a little bit interesting because I like this going on. Not so much the blade shape, but this. If they put a different blade shape on here, then yes, and if they take away the assisted. But a lot of people like assisted. So here you go. This is for something for them. We do love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.